The chase is a seductive illusion, a siren song that lures men into sacrificing their self-respect on the altar of false hope. It begins innocently enough, a lingering glance, a moment of connection, the intoxicating rush of potential. But soon, you find yourself trapped in a cycle of emotional bargaining, negotiating your worth against her indifference. You tell yourself she's different, that your situation is special, that if you just persist a little longer, she finally see what you have to offer. This is the lie that keeps you hooked. The truth is far simpler and more brutal. When a woman wants you, she makes it unmistakably clear. There are no games, no mixed signals, no perpetual uncertainty. The dangerous allure of the chase lies in its ability to distort reality. It tricks you into believing that love must be earned through suffering, that your value as a man is measured by how much rejection you can endure. You mistake obsession for dedication, desperation for passion. But real connection doesn't require you to abandon your dignity. It doesn't demand that you become a shadow of yourself, endlessly analyzing texts and social media cues like some love-struck detective. Healthy attraction is effortless. It flows naturally between two people who choose each other without hesitation or manipulation. Every moment spent chasing is a moment stolen from your own evolution. While you're fixated on winning her approval, opportunities pass you by. Your confidence erodes, your purpose fades into the background, and before you realize it, you've become a supporting character in someone else's story. The cruel irony: the more you chase, the less she respects you. Women are instinctively repelled by neediness and drawn to self-possessed men who have better things to do than beg for attention. Break the cycle. Recognize that the chase isn't about her. It's about your fear of letting go, your reluctance to face the truth. The right woman won't make you prove yourself. She meet you halfway, match your energy, and choose you as boldly as you choose her. Until then, the most powerful move you can make is to walk away, not as a tactic, but as a testament to your self-worth. The moment you stop chasing is the moment you start living, the moment you prioritize her attention over your own peace. You've already lost. Chasing isn't love, it's slow self-destruction disguised as devotion. You tell yourself you're being patient, that persistence proves your worth, but in reality, you're conditioning her to see you as an option rather than a priority. Every unanswered text you agonize over, every excuse you make for her indifference, every time you shrink your boundaries just to stay in her orbit, these aren't acts of love. They're acts of self-betrayal. You've become an emotional beggar, trading your dignity for scraps of validation, and the cost is far higher than you realize. The damage compounds in silence. You don't notice the erosion at first. The way your confidence dims, how your humor loses its edge, the creeping doubt that replaces your natural assertiveness. You rationalize it as sacrifice, but deep down, you know the truth. You're no longer the man she first met. The man who had passions, standards, a life beyond her approval. That version of you is fading, replaced by an anxious shadow who checks his phone 20 times an hour, who molds his schedule to her whims, who treats her occasional attention like a life raft in an ocean of uncertainty. This isn't courtship, it's captivity. Women don't fall for the man who chases. They fall for the man who captivates. There's a seismic difference. One reeks of neediness, the other radiates purpose. Every time you suppress your instincts to appease her, every time you twist yourself into knots to keep her interested, you're not winning her over, you're teaching her you have nothing better to do. And nothing kills attraction faster than predictability. The cruel paradox: the more available you make yourself, the less she values your presence. She may keep you around, but only as a contingency plan, a safety net while she explores other options. The escape begins with a single realization: you're not fighting for her affection, you're fighting against your own worth. True strength isn't measured by how long you can endure neglect, but by your willingness to walk when respect disappears. The moment you stop negotiating your value is the moment you reclaim your power. No dramatic speeches, no last-ditch efforts, just quiet, irreversible action. Let your absence speak louder than your pleading ever did. Either she wake up and fight for you, or she makes space for someone who actually deserves you. Either way, you win. You're not in love with her, you're in love with a ghost. The woman haunting your thoughts isn't the one who leaves. You on read for days or serves lukewarm excuses when you ask for clarity. She's a carefully constructed fantasy, stitched together from fleeting moments of potential, that one perfect night. The occasional vulnerability she showed, the version of her that exists only in your hopeful imagination. This is the cruelest trick the chase plays on your heart. It makes you mourn someone who never truly existed. The truth hides in patterns, not promises. Look past the occasional breadcrumbs of affection and you'll see the real story: inconsistency, half-efforts, emotional unavailability. You dismiss these red flags because your mind clings to those rare sparks of connection, replaying them like a gambler obsessing over near wins. But potential isn't foundation. The right woman doesn't make you decipher her mixed signals. She makes her intentions as clear as your own. Every time you excuse her hot and cold behavior as she's just scared or she's been hurt before, you're not being understanding. You're being complicit in your own stagnation. This addiction to potential stems from a deeper wound, the belief that you must earn love through endurance. You've convinced yourself that if you just suffer enough, wait long enough, love hard enough, she'd transform into the partner you deserve. But people don't fundamentally change for those they're lukewarm. The woman who truly wants you won't require this much convincing. She won't keep you in emotional purgatory while she figures out her feelings. Love isn't a negotiation, it's a mutual surrender. Letting go isn't admitting defeat, it's declaring sovereignty over your own life, that phantom version of her. Bury it. Grieve the future you imagined, then turn your gaze toward what actually exists, your purpose, your growth, your unshakable worth. The moment you stop romanticizing potential is the moment you become free to recognize real connection. When it finally appears, no chasing required. The moment you stop chasing, a profound shift occurs, not in her, but in you. Your energy, once scattered in desperate pursuit, suddenly snaps back into alignment. You stop checking your phone like a nervous habit. The mental real estate once occupied by her mixed signals clears like morning fog, making space for clarity and purpose. This isn't about playing games or reverse psychology. It's about reclaiming the most valuable currency you possess, your attention. Withdrawal from the chase feels like waking from a trance. You begin noticing how much time and emotional bandwidth you've wasted on someone who treated your devotion as optional. The gym sessions become more intense, your work sharper, your conversations richer, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you're no longer draining yourself into a bottomless pit of uncertainty. Women sense this shift instinctively. There's an undeniable magnetism to a man who's fully invested in his own journey rather than begging for a seat at someone else's table. Walking away is the ultimate power move, not as a tactic to win her back, but as a declaration that your peace is non-negotiable. Either she rises to meet your energy or your absence becomes her loss. Either way, you've already won by choosing yourself. The man who stops chasing doesn't become bitter, he becomes bulletproof. This isn't about hardening your heart, but about elevating your standards to match your worth. You start seeing relationships not as validation to be earned, but as partnerships to be chosen mutually, consciously, without games or guesswork. The clarity is liberating. No more deciphering mixed signals, no more clinging to potential. No more shrinking yourself to fit someone's indecision. Your energy transforms when you realize the truth. You're not an option. You're a priority or you're gone. This uncompromising stance isn't arrogance. It's the natural result of self-respect crystallizing into boundaries. Women respond to this shift viscerally. Some will fade away, revealing they were only drawn to the chase itself. Others will lean in, intrigued by the quiet confidence of a man who knows his value isn't up for debate. The ultimate power lies in detachment, not from love itself, but from the delusion that love must hurt to be real. When you stop chasing, you create space for something extraordinary, a connection that meets you where you stand, no ultimatums required. Not because you demanded it, but because you became the kind of man who naturally attracts it.